So you talked just to go back a little bit to just to what you've done so far, like with the New York process, like just maybe were there any takeaways that you guys had from that part? I know you mentioned that you witnessed like some of the voter disenfranchisement, and we've heard a lot of accounts from people about that stuff too. I mean, I think every primary day we would be flooded on the different pages I help run with tests with people's accounts of this going wrong or someone's video posted. Were there any takeaways, I guess, maybe that you had, or just maybe any thoughts from like actually being there in the mix in New York to now today? Any reflections of like, he's endorsed now. I mean, we had all the excitement. It was one way, and now here we are. Everyone is in that kind of like, blah, where do we go from here? Which is why I'm trying to be upbeat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I saw was, the New York elections went off except for the purging of those 100,000 or so.
Right, in Brooklyn,
votes in Brooklyn. I mean, there weren't long lines. I think the problem was much more systemic, and the fact that independent voters couldn't switch their affiliation, or they had to switch back in October in order to vote. So these very, these barriers, these systemic barriers to voting were very present. Everyone we were talking to, there were a lot of independent voters who couldn't even vote in the primary.
Right,
Going out and canvassing and trying to convince the registered Democrats to change anyway. So on the primary day, we didn't go. We couldn't. You can't go film in the booths or anything.
Right.
So we pretty much just heard and followed some people trying to get people to go out and vote at the last minute from the Harlem headquarters and everything. But what I really think we saw and what we witnessed is that we met people who didn't even know. They thought they could just go vote at their school, for example. So no, you have to get up early. If you've got classes, you've got to go across all New York. And maybe you'll find your voting booth. And I mean, it's insane for people in Europe because like it's so easy to vote. You can easily mail in your ballot. You can, and it's really making it difficult for people to vote is one of the ways that I think Clinton got her, beat Bernie Sanders by almost 400 delegates. When Sanders, endorsed Clinton today, I think it was really against his own heart because he knew that if the system had been less rigged in favor of the establishment candidate, I think he really had the popular vote. I really think he did. I think in the hearts and minds of American people, and that's what we saw in New York, that he's the candidate that everyone wants. And so that's what we saw in New York. And it's almost intangible in a lot of ways because it's so systemic that it's some more in the conversations that we filmed and people canvassing, going door to door, and people being like, my wife's Democrat, but I'm an independent and I can't even vote, so, people really upset that they couldn't participate in the New York primary for several reasons, right?
Right.
That's what we saw. We really saw that there was this, everything, Bernie was fighting an uphill battle. And he had been from the beginning. And it's true. He said today that it's amazing that he has 1,900 delegates. I think that if people can start to change the system, get rid of the superdelegate process, and learn more about their civic duties as well. Like, how do you vote? Can we make the voting process easier for people? Get the young vote out. I think next election cycle, I think that there can be a real big difference. And some more progressive candidates, maybe a new progressive presidential candidate can win.
Awesome.